is Chris Akin Presents, and I, of course, am Chris Akin, and we are going to be talking a little TV and a little bit of movies today. So, of course, I brought back my TV and movie correspondent, the mighty Miss Stephanie. Stephanie, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am just awesome. Awesome to be talking about TV and movies. Not so awesome to be talking about Ozark, as we will get to.
Uh-huh.
But I'm certainly having fun to do this. Before we even get into it, please, people that are watching or listening or whatever, do all the podcasty shit. Will you? Notification bell and subscribe and likes and comments and blah, blah, blah. Y'all know what to do.
Ding!
Yeah, exactly. I need that little thing to come across the bottom. Ding! You know, I need all that, but I'm too lazy for that. So just do it. Y'all know what to do. Fuck. So we are going to talk. First, we're going to talk movies. You gave me homework.
Yeah.
You sent me to school to do some homework on a movie that, quite honestly, I never, ever would have watched otherwise. And to be honest, I quite enjoyed. It was actually pretty damn good.
Told you.
You did. You did. So we'll start there. You sent me to a place that I absolutely do not go, which is Disney Plus. I'm somehow a subscriber to this shit. I guess I get it with my phone or something. I don't know.
Or you get it through us.
No, you can't say that. You can't say that. I guess I get it through my phone or something.
Or the aliens from outer space beam it down.
Yeah, somehow the login works. I don't know how that happens, but yeah, the first one that we are going to talk about that you sent me to is Cruella, which is there's a lot of description to this thing. It is a live action prequel to the cartoon of 101 Dalmatians. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So I'll tell you and I'll tell everybody up front. I, to this point and as of today, have never seen 101 Dalmatians.
Oh, no.
I did not know the show at all. I truly was like, well, I'm going to roll with this thing blind and I'm going to see what happens. And, you know, I sort of knew the story. And like everybody else, I sort of knew the whole spaghetti slurping into a kiss thing.
That's Lady and the Tramp.
Oh, is that? I don't know. What is 101 Dalmatians?
It's the one with all the Dalmatians. 101 of them.
Yeah, see, I really don't know Disney for shit. So, obviously, I'm proving my point here. I went into this thing stone cold. Didn't know anything.
Is your next homework assignment to watch 101 Dalmatians?
No, because I really don't want to watch a bunch of Disney stuff. But I was willing to get... You told me that I would like this. And to be fair, 99% of the time when you tell me that I'll like something, I usually do. You know, I have you two ladies in my life, you and Kelly, and both of you fucking keep me guided on TV. You know, you both are like, oh, you got to watch this, you got to watch that. And then I watch, I'm like, okay, I like that. And I don't think you've ever been wrong. Yeah, I don't think you've ever steered me somewhere totally wrong. So I gave this a shot, even though it was Disney, even though it was kind of, you know, kidsy, or I thought it would be kidsy. Completely not.
Yeah.
Completely not. Now, for people that don't know, this Cruella, it stars Emma Stone, who you know from something or what has she been in? Do you know?
Oh Jesus,
I don't know.
Oh gosh, I can't think of a single.
Of course not, because I put you completely on the spot.
It's gonna come to me. I swear.
I'm gonna tell you in a minute. What has she been in? Emma Stone. She has been in Crazy Stupid Love and Hannah and
I don't watch those.
I don't know any of these. She's gonna Scarlet Letter, Saturday Morning All-Star Hits. I don't know that. Zombieland.
Yes, that's a good one.
Zombieland. She was in La La Land.
I haven't seen that.
I don't really know many of her things, but iCarly. I remember iCarly when my kids were.
She was on that.
She was on that, yeah.
I did not know that.
She was on 30 Rock for a minute. Yeah, Sleeping Dogs. Yeah, I don't know any of this shit, honestly. All right, so unknown actress Emma Stone is in this.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not Scarlet Letter. It was the Easy A.
The Easy A.
Super bad. That's the one.
All right, there we go. Now, Superbad we both saw, so there we go. So Emma Stone, and she plays Cruella, and they go through basically what led her to be this evil genius. Would you call her a genius, or would you call her an opportunist?
She called herself a genius.
Yeah, but what would you call her? What would you call her?
I would call her both.
Yeah, she was smart. I'll say she was smart. And she also really knew how to work people. That stood out.
Yeah, definitely. She was a mastermind.
Right. She definitely was.
As it were.
Mm-hmm. And she was, and what we do is you go through, you kind of learn, and correct me if you think I'm wrong on this, but this seems to be like the tale of evil, just in general, that fucked up childhood leads to fucked up but brilliant moneymaker. Is that
right?
Is that
yeah,
fair?
Exactly. But and at the same time, I was rooting for her.
Yeah,
the whole movie, rooting for her, knowing that she was going to be in the next movie, the bad guy.
Right.
Totally rooting for her.
Well, yeah, she was. It was a weird, and this is where I'll give. I don't know who wrote this script, but I'll give the script writers credit for this. This was kind of brilliant the way that this was fresh out of the WWE. The way they wrote her as evil, but you still wanted her to win every stupid thing that she did.
Absolutely.
It was cool. So, and kind of the thing that I liked best about this is, let me back up because people probably don't know much about this thing. The somewhat plot line is that she was an intern at a fashion place. She thought she was better than the main designer that was like raking in all the money. She saw that main designer, when she'd been there like 5 seconds, she saw that designer was just ripping off all the help.
Right.
And instead of taking that as, oh, this fucking sucks, why is it me that has to do all this work? She looked at it as, well, if she can rip off all these people, I can rip off all these people better because I have better fashion sense as well as being a demon. And that's kind of the plot line to it. And that was fascinating to me, the way that they wrote this, and the way, not so much that, because I think that's kind of a given, isn't it, to her character in the cartoon?
Yeah, she's like that, but I mean, they also spun it to where am I allowed to give stuff away? I guess.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right?
We're
Okay.
spoiling. We're spoiling.
I mean, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
I mean, it started out where she was, where the lady was her muse, and then she was building up, and then she finds out that she was actually the one that killed her mom. So then it was more of a revenge,
right,
thing, and then the way she took her out at the end was just freaking remarkable.
It was. No, it was.
And getting rid of her real self and giving everything to her alter ego,
right,
legally.
Yeah.
It was just amazing.
No, it was. Like I said, the script writers deserve the award for this because the acting was cool. I don't know about you, but I don't especially love British acting, and even though I don't think everybody in this was British, they were pretending to be British.
Right.
And I'm not the biggest fan of that per se, but
I don't mind it.
I liked the direction that they took, and I liked how they used what would normally be kind of boring scripted writing to set the table for the show. And specifically, I liked how they took that she was kind of a thief to survive.
Right.
But then she liked it. Yeah. And I liked how they didn't just do the obvious, well, okay, she likes stealing shit, so therefore she's taking it. I liked the way that they kind of showed her thieving, showed her finding creative ways to work the two guys into it, to work the dog into it, to work everything around her into it. 2 dogs into it.
Tell me those dogs weren't good actors.
Oh, they were the best stuff. That was
especially Wink.
I don't know the dogs' names because you know me and pets. But I do know that I just thought that was creatively cool, the way that they took what would normally be, most writers would normally just leave that as, well, this is just showing that she was a bad seed.
Right.
But they weren't doing that. They were showing that she was creative and smart.
And it was had survival.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. That's exactly what they did. They took the survival piece and made it so you did. And I honestly think that that's why none of us hated, me or you, hated her. Right. Because we liked the fact that, she came up from nothing and she really found a way to fuck the man over. Or the woman as it went.
The man.
The man. What was her name? Estella?
No, that was Cruella's alter ego. Or
no,
I can't remember her name, but
what was her name? Esmeralda or something? It was something with an E, wasn't it?
I don't know, but Estella was Cruella.
Right. Okay.
Just remember, her mom was always like, "Say goodbye, Cruella," to Cruella.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So.
And the soundtrack was amazing.
It was great. Yeah, they did a great job of finding older songs, but not just, well, we got it licensed, let's jam it in. Like every song in every place had a meaning.
Yep.
Either had a meaning or had the right flow to take you out of one scene and into the next scene.
Exactly. I think that tied it all together for me, where it's just like it's already a movie I knew as a kid, and then you're telling the story of how she became bad. Plus, I like Emma Stone. And then you're going to add in good music, just good music, and 2 dogs.
Yeah, well, you and the dogs, of course. you and the dogs, of course. And I'll be honest, I liked seeing the dogs killing the bad guy at the end. I liked that. I did dig that. That was good. But yeah, I would say overall for me, I think we went into it with different sight lines. Like you went into it wanting to like it, and it played into everything that you like anyway. So you liked it. Is that fair?
Yes.
For me, go ahead.
Sorry. I feel like also knowing so much about 101 Dalmatians and all that, and I remember the 2 human male characters in the cartoon as well.
Okay.
So I got the whole tie-in, and then I got the tie-in of the reporter and the lawyer and how they tied into the cartoon too, which you wouldn't get because obviously you haven't seen that. But they do tie it into 101 Dalmatians.
So then, compared to when you tie it together as one piece, which I'm gonna do for now until Cruella 2 comes out, when they probably do the 101 Dalmatians in live action. I'm assuming. I would
hope.
That seems like where they'll leave it. But putting the 2 together, the prequel with Cruella, as well as the 101 Dalmatians movie, does it flow as it should, or is any of it surprising?
It flows. For me, it flowed perfectly.
Okay.
It just. I mean, I don't know if you watched the post-credit scenes.
Yeah.
Okay, so when Cruella sent each of those people, the reporter and the ex-lawyer, the puppies. Those puppies were named Pongo and Perdita. That's the moms of the 101 Dalmatians, the parent dogs, the mom and dad. So, and those were the owners. And then what would happen in 101 Dalmatians is the lawyer and the reporter end up meeting and getting married, and that's how their dogs come together.
All right.
And create all those dogs.
Nice. And do some fucking. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I watched that at the end, and I just thought that was kind of their way to say, "Hey, thanks for the help. Here's a dog." Yeah. I really did. I didn't know any better.
You would have been like, "Thanks, but no thanks."
Yeah, I'd have been sending it back. Return to sender. Here, take this, right to the pound.
New phone. Who dis?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But I on where you went into this positive and came out of it positive, I went into this kind of like, all right, I'll do, Steph watched my show, I'll watch her show. That's really how I went into this, and I enjoyed it a ton. I really, really liked it. I thought the acting was good. I thought the cinematography was excellent. That's another thing. We didn't even talk about it, but the way they shot it was fantastic. Very, very, consider it's a period piece. Those are always hard to do anyway. And this looked and felt the part without looking all CGI'd and shitty. I mean,
all I kept thinking is bold. The word bold. Like everything was just, it just was right there. Like it put you there.
Yeah.
And half the time, without the music even, it's like you didn't even realize that it took place back in the late 60s, early 70s until they said it.
Right.
Because a lot of the styles and everything come back, and everything old is now cool again.
Right.
So I think that anybody could enjoy it. It wouldn't be like watching an old movie.
Right. No, you're right about that. And I'll be the complete sexist pervy guy here. I found Emma Stone to be completely hot with the black and white hair.
Yeah.
I loved it.
They did very good with her. She perfected that. I mean, she was just evil, and you could tell the difference between Estella and Cruella.
Yeah.
You could see the change in her personality and everything when that happened.
Right. It wasn't horrible like the first Christopher Reeve Superman, where they put the glasses on him and nobody recognized him. It's like, oh, wow, look at that. Clark Kent, you don't look anything like Superman. It wasn't like that at all. It seemed like two different people. The mannerisms were different. The look was different enough to where you could probably in real life mistake one for the other, or not mistake one for the other. I thought they did a great job at separating the two while letting us, the viewer, know that it was the same person. It was really good. Even
her accent was a little different.
Yeah, it was cool. And I liked some of the tricks, I'll call them. I don't know what you'd call them. The tricks I especially liked the what do you call it? The maggots or whatever that made up the dress.
Oh, the moths.
The moths.
Yeah, where the cocoons were the beads. That was freaking amazing.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
When they opened the vault and just I was like, damn. That was some slick shit, because they even checked the shit before they put it in the vault.
Uh-huh.
Like she saw her on the camera doing something. She went and checked and was like, oh, it doesn't look like anything. Go ahead, put it in the vault. Then they opened the vault again just to make sure it was still there, and all the moths were there. That was pretty sweet.
Ate through all of her designs that weren't even her designs, that she had stolen from her employees.
From everybody, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm overall giving this one a thumbs up. I absolutely enjoyed it. I'm surprised I did, but I did. And it was a good call by you.
So I did better than you did with Dr. Death.
Yeah, Dr. Death, not as good as Cruella. I'll even say that. Dr. Death was definitely not as good as Cruella. No way. Right. Cruella was solid. Unlike the end of Ozark.
Oh, God.
I hated this. And I'm not even going to go back and tell the backstory or anything. Everybody knows what Ozark is. The 2-second version, the husband and the wife, they ripped off the cartel. They moved out to the Ozarks to launder the money. That's your short story. If you want more, you got 4 seasons on Netflix that you can check it out. They made us wait forever. And then I don't know how you feel about this, but for me, they just tried to jam everything up into the last 3 or 4 episodes, and it sucked dick.
We went 3 seasons of everything being drug out. Just so awfully drug out. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, you get the first part of season 4, which I hated that they split it up. But the first part of season 4 where it was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then the second part was like, seriously?
Yeah.
No, I can't even catch what just happened.
I agree. It was 10 hours of drivel for me.
Yeah.
I came out of it just thinking, why did they rush all this together? Why did they, you know, I get that they're not doing another season, or maybe now I'm reading they're going to spin it off.
Are you
And
serious?
it's like, yeah, and I'm like, no, don't spin it off. It ended bad enough. But they did, and correct me if I'm wrong, but they did everything wrong with the ending. Everything was wrong.
Just like The Sopranos.
I hate that part all by itself. We'll start there, but then we'll go backwards. It sucked ass when The Sopranos did it. It sucked even more when a less good show than The Sopranos did it.
Right.
And leaving the whole, there's a gunshot, we don't know who was killed, that sucks.
Especially since the son, he pretty much hated everybody at that point.
Yeah.
So it could have been anybody.
And I think that's why they did it. So that I honestly think that they did it in case they can find and this is all speculation. I don't know this to be true. But I think they did it this way 100% so that they can find new investors to go into Ozark, the next heist or whatever.
The Everglades.
Yeah, the Everglades or wherever they move to, Chicago. They're moving back to Chicago. So it'll be Ozark, Windy City, you know. And I honestly think that's why they did it, so that they can pick it up wherever the writers decide to take it, whether it's Marty being alive or the wife being alive, or Marty had a secret agreement with the cop to kill the wife, or the wife had a secret agreement with the cop to kill Marty, or the kid had a secret agreement with the daughter to kill whoever. You know, they left it wide open with a million options, and that to me is a lazy ending to an otherwise great show.
So if they move to Chicago, are they going to like start hiring the Shameless cast to replace Ruth?
Well, if they get Fiona, I'm in.
Fiona left.
But no, I hated the ending. I hated it.
I did too. I wanted that kid to shoot his mother. That's what I wanted. I just wanted the woman to die. They killed my favorite character and instead left her.
Who? Ruth?
Ruth. I loved Ruth.
I liked Ruth a lot. I won't say I loved her, but I liked her. I loved her character. I mean, the character that she was playing was amazing. I liked her better in Inventing Anna, but
I know you did.
I most certainly did. She was hot as
for another time.
Yeah, I know. That's another hot one. But here's what I didn't like about them killing Ruth. As much as we all saw that coming, the minute that she killed the drug dealer, we knew that she was getting it.
Yeah.
You know, I think we all knew that. It was a safe bet. Why in the fuck did they go? We get the whole show, 3 years and 9/10 of a show, where the kills are all shocking and instant. Then Ruth gets shot, and it's done in slow motion like the Bionic Man picking up a boulder. It's like dun 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 dun, and they show the bullet going boom 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 on her shirt and shit. What the hell was that?
Maybe just to make it, because they probably knew that everybody was rooting for her. So they've got to make it more pressing, you know, and everybody's got to see Ruth die because she's just this loved character. Well, not really loved, but people were rooting for
hated.
her.
Not hated. Well, everybody on that show is much like The Sopranos, that every character is hateable.
Yeah, well, here's a question for you.
Yeah.
If you had to spend the weekend secluded with the Birds or The Sopranos, including the mom on The Sopranos and the sister, who would you rather spend the weekend with?
So my choices are the Birds or
The Sopranos.
Janice and Mama Soprano.
Yeah.
Wow. Who has the quicker access to a gun for me to shoot myself? Jesus God.
That's a good question. Who does?
So really, it's like who can I sneak a peek at? Really, is what it comes down to. Do I want to look at Meadow or do I want to look at the daughter of the Birds?
Meadow.
I think I go Meadow because I don't want to spend any time with any of these fucking people. The Birds, The Sopranos, I would be in fear. I would be in fear. I would hate Janice, and I would hate the mother, and I would be afraid that if I said something, that Tony would just fucking kill me.
Right.
So I would have like a real death fear with the Sopranos. With the Birds, I just hated them. I like they're like an employee that you work with that you don't like.
Right.
And every day you come in and they're like, "Oh, how was your weekend?"
And you're like, oh.
And you're like, "It was fine. Why are you asking me? I don't like you." You know, that they were is that a fair comparison of them?
That's actually was my answer too, or in my thinking was just like I would just be pissed off the entire week. At least there would be some kind of entertainment with the Sopranos. You know, you could make light of the mom whining and, you know, whatever. But I would just be probably focused on putting my hands around the mom's throat in Ozark. And
I hated her. The only one I could think of that I hated worse than her, well, obviously Janice. Janice is my all-time hated.
Yeah, I know. That's why I asked.
Janice is the worst. But as far as moms go, I didn't hate Mama Soprano as much as I did the mom from Breaking Bad.
Oh, yes.
She sucked.
Oh, she was terrible. That's why I like Better Call Saul so much better than Breaking Bad, because she's not on it.
I know. With her. So, okay, so let's go into that realm. Who would you rather spend a week with there? Walter and her and the kid that can't walk? Or
you got to add in the sister-in-law and brother-in-law too.
Oh,
the sister-in-law's annoying.
Hank and the klepto sister.
Yeah.
Or the Birds.
Ooh. God, this is awful.
That is the word. Wow. That's literally the which lung do you want your cancer in?
I'm going to go find Gus and just have him put me out of misery.
That's what I'm saying.
Kill me, please.
Who has the easier access to a gun so I can shoot myself? Because, wow.
I guess it would be the Birds in that case, because there weren't too many guns laying around Walter White's house.
Yeah. That's a real toss-up of awful time.
We should have done this for Mother's Day. The worst mothers ever.
Right, no shit. Ooh.
Father's Day's coming up.
Well, there we go. Yeah, but the fathers, you usually like the dads.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
All right, so we've picked apart the ending. I got a couple other points before we wrap this thing up.
Okay.
Here, this is my biggest bitch of the whole thing, even more than the ending, if you can believe that. I hate, and this is the laziest fucking writing. I can't believe they did this. So, Marty is basically an accountant. They never built him up to be a badass. They never built him up to be tough. He made some tough decisions here and there, but ultimately, when something tough needed to be done, that's when he yanked Ruth into things.
Yeah.
To get the tough stuff done. He wasn't a tough guy. So they send him to Mexico to be a badass. And they just buy into that stuff.
Yeah, I hated that part. Hated it. It didn't make any sense. He's not a cartel member.
Yeah, he's just a guy. Those cartel members, they've killed hundreds of people, but they're all of a sudden going to be afraid of Marty?
That's right. Like, all of a sudden, because he's sitting there going through their books, they fear for their life.
Yeah, and let's pull that apart. Since you brought it up, let's go to that, too. In drug cartels, how accurate do you think the books are kept? Do you really think they even keep books?
Only if there's a business fronting it.
No, they don't. Wrong. I have watched a zillion documentaries on the Medellin cartel. And one of the biggest things that they've said that their loss of money has been over the years has been because, like, they buried money out in the desert because they had nowhere to store it, and it got eaten by rats and coyotes and shit. So they just take that as loss. And when planes crash and whatever, when they're smuggling money and drugs back and forth, it's just lost. There's nobody keeping a spreadsheet on this shit.
Yeah.
that was like 2 episodes of dumb.
Yeah, they were, and then it ended up being the whole wrong guy that he was beating, and I'm just,
Yeah.
and then the sister-in-law's in it, and
and then she's like, Marty, you've got to be tough. You've got to be tough. And then he wasn't tough. They just did what he wanted them to do, and he never even told them to.
Yeah.
He was kind of like going, wait, no. And then he just let it happen. That's not tough. Why wouldn't he have sent Ruth down there to handle that problem?
That's what I was just going to say that. The toughest person on the show was Ruth. She should have went down there.
Yeah. And that could have been her way out of the birds thing. We'll give you the fucking boat if you go and handle the cartel. Yeah. But instead they went with, well, Marty has to act tough. Get out of here with this.
I don't know what was worse, that or looking at the mom. I can't even remember her name now because
but cunt.
Yeah, looking at cunt every time something came up, or Marty would find a way out of it, or Ruth would find a way to fix her own problems, and then she would come in and just no, we're not doing that.
Yeah,
we're doing this, and it's like, well, who the hell is she?
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, well, and here's
a backbone.
Right. Well, and Marty just goes along with it. Marty's like, oh, okay, if that's what we got to do. But he's strong enough to stand up to every cartel member in Mexico. Right. Come on.
Not that
Not his chick. Not his chick, but every cartel leader in Mexico.
When that car flipped over, I would have grabbed both my kids and just threw a match behind me and left. Let that car blow up with her in it. I would have gone. When the car rolled over there, I was hoping that he went all Tony Soprano on Christopher, and just put his hand on her mouth and her, her throat and choked her ass out. I was wishing that would happen, but instead he was like, no, we have to get her out. We have to get her out. And then they got her out, and she was unconscious. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's gonna die. She's dead. Yay! No. Yeah, and I was like, oh no, we had a little car accident. We're fine. Then they just walk up to the house like nothing even happened. And they even said it when the guy, whoever was there to talk to him, and they were just like, oh, we just had a little car accident. We're fine. Yeah. And that was it. The last, what was it, 7 episodes that they did? Was that 7? Yeah. All of them were bad as far as I'm concerned. It really almost went the Dexter route of like 4 really good seasons, and then it just died. Yeah. And almost to the point where, like even in Dexter, where it almost ruined the rest of the season. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Where it's like not watchable anymore. It's funny. We talked a little bit about this on Toomey, on the Talk Toomey show yesterday, I guess, or whenever we recorded it. And somebody posted to me that the Dexter ending was way worse. And my answer was no, this was way worse, because at least with Dexter, you knew what happened. Yeah. Regardless of if it was terrible, which it was, you knew what happened. At least there was an ending. This they're just opening the door to spin it off, and I know they're going to. It's too popular of a show not to. If they can get these people to do it again, and why wouldn't they? What else is Jason Bateman doing? But they can't bring back Ruth. Well, that'll be but they could recreate Ruth. They could find a new Ruth in Chicago. No. Yeah, the member of the Shameless family. Yeah, there you go, Fiona. No, I imagine it's not Debbie. Fiona. Be Debbie. That's it. That's who it is. Then I won't be a fan, because I hated Debbie. Yeah, well, they'd have to pull her away from the Connors to get her to be a criminal again. But she's not good on that show either. Well, no one's good on that show. That's another topic for. Oof. Yeah, we'll talk about that one too. All right, that's fine. All right, well, I think we've pretty much beat this thing to death. So for people that are interested, Cruella, watch. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Ozark, I'm going to still say you have to watch. I think you have to watch. No? You can't get this far and quit. I think, you know what? I think I wish I would have waited until all of it was out and then just watched it all at once, instead of waiting for that long period of time for that final season. because then I would have more time to build up and build up, and I think it made it even worse.
Okay, but so let's play this out. If you had done that, if you had waited all the way until a month ago and you started watching it from episode 1 and you watched it every night until now, would you have gone to the end? Or would you have got bored and not gone to the end?
Oh, I don't stop watching things. No matter how bad they are.
You're like me.
Very, very few things. The only I did finally stop watching Grey's Anatomy. I won't finish that. I don't care.
Right.
That just got stupid. So it has to get really bad.
Yeah. Dude, I'm like that with Law and Order SVU. I finally jumped off that shark. But I've been hating that show. I've been hating that show for the last 4 years. And I kept watching until they jumped me off this year because they made her 8-year-old son come out as a bisexual or some shit. And I was like, all right, I'm out.
That's the new thing.
I was like, that's enough for me. Now we're worried about Mariska's kid being trans or whatever. I was like, I'm out. Goodbye. You know, I want to see Rape and Solve. That's what I want. I don't want to see your dumb kid rape somebody, solve the rape. That's what that show is. Fuck's sake. All right. Again, another topic, another time.
All right.
All right. Well, this has been fun. This has been another one. You got anything that you want me to watch? Because we can send the fans to do it too if you want.
I'll have to think about that.
All right.
Actually.
You like Sopranos?
Oh, no. I do have one.
All right. What you got?
Young Rock.
Oh, the Young Rock with the WWE thing?
Yeah, with Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Is he in it?
Yeah.
I haven't watched it. I'll watch it.
And he plays himself in the future.
I'll watch. You know what's weird about that guy? I've never watched any of his movies. Not a single one.
Really?
I never have. I don't know why. I'm a fan. I loved him as The Rock. You know me in wrestling. I love it. Never watched it. The only thing I've ever watched him in, which I thought he was awesome in, was that show Ballers on HBO, where he was a sports agent. And that show fucking kicks ass. So I don't know what it is about him. Maybe it's the first time I remember seeing him that he was playing the fucking Tooth Fairy or something. And I was like, ugh, no. You know.
That was funny, though. It was cute. But
I always see... Right before wrestling starts on TBS every Wednesday, they or TNT or whatever channel it's on, they're like they run like big movies, and I have no idea what the movie is, but I see the last 5 minutes of this movie with The Rock and Kevin Hart, and The Rock is waiting outside in a truck to give Kevin Hart this jacket, and I have no idea what any of it means, but then they both get in the car or in the truck and drive off.
Are you sure it's a movie? Because those two are always doing something dumb together.
It might be a show. I don't know. I just know that it's the same scene. Like they run this show all the time, movie show, whatever. And I see the same like 3 minutes of it, and then the wrestling starts all the time. So I don't know what it is.
Well,
but
I think you might enjoy. It could go one of two ways with Young. I think it's called Young Rock. It can go where you're going to be like, okay, this is not accurate at all because you're a big wrestling fan, or you're going to super enjoy all the characters that are built in.
So is it about his wrestling, or is it about before he was when he was a football player and all that?
His whole life.
All right.
I'll
check that out.
The season ends now. What it is, the basis of it is it's the future, far in the future, and The Rock or Dwayne Johnson is running for president.
Okay.
And he's got this fella that is doing all these interviews with him, like kind of like following him around as part of his campaign. So he's telling all these stories about his past. So each episode is, a different time in his life or whatever. They really didn't start talking about him starting to get into wrestling until the last season. But
how many seasons is this? I
think it's just two or three. Yeah, it's not very many.
How is it? I don't know. What channel is it on? It's on Peacock?
I've been watching it on Hulu.
Okay, I have Hulu. I'll watch it.
Yep. And there's a lot of old wrestlers on there. People playing
All right.
the old wrestlers. So it's fun. It's fun.
All right. Well, I'll
I'm
check
hoping
that
you
one out.
like it.
I'll check it out, and I'm going to send you the homework since you like The
Okay.
Sopranos. On Peacock, you got to start watching Yellowstone.
Okay.
That
All
show
right.
is it's The Sopranos. I mean, honestly, it's The Sopranos if they were cattle rustlers.
Okay.
But it's modern. I mean, it's modern. It's not like set in like 1843 or whatever. It's today's time, but it's really violent. It's really like it's like the the main family are just fucking scumbags, and they just go out and kill politicians and kill people, and it's
How
all
many
kinds
seasons
of
is that one?
4.
4?
They're into season 4 right now, but
Okay.
you'll get 5 minutes in and you'll be hooked. I will promise you that I'll make that deal to you and anybody that's watching this right now.
Okay.
If you can watch the first 10 minutes, I'll say, if you can watch to the first set of credits and you don't like it, then by all means turn it off and tell me that I'm full of shit. Because I'm going to guarantee you're going to watch that first scene and you're going to be like, holy mother of fuck.
Okay. All right.
I mean, that's
deal.
how intense that shit is from the jump.
I mean, I'm just watching Golden Girls and rewatching Stranger Things right now, so I'm not in
Well, this
in
is
anything serious.
well, this is serious. I'll tell you that now. There's not a lot of joking around on this. And I'll tell you who's surprising. Kevin Costner as a bad guy.
Oh, I didn't know he was in it. I didn't
He's
know
the
nothing
lead.
about this.
Yeah, he's the lead, and he is a piece of shit.
Oh.
And I can't believe it. And he talks like Batman, too. That's the funny thing, too. He's like,
Jeez.
we got to get out there on the farm and get those cows rustled up. You know, he's like got that whole South thing going on. It's fucking hilarious to hear, but
Man, it's a long way from when he was married to the Indian tribe, or
yeah, dances with wolves.
building baseball diamonds.
Yeah, or swimming, water
Yeah,
world.
right.
Yeah, it's a long way from there, that's for sure, but it's fucking good. So there's your homework. You're going to go to Yellowstone. I'm going to go to Young Rock, and we'll meet in the middle here in a couple of weeks.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. So for Chris Akin Presents, I have been Chris Akin. You have been who?
Stephanie.
The lovely
Stephanie Drake.
The lovely Stephanie Drake. And we're out of here. And that's it. I'm not even going to say I'll be Chris tomorrow, because you already know that. So there you go. See ya.
See ya.
With trucker strikes and rising inflation, food shortages are becoming a big problem. Don't let yourself get caught unprepared. Buy a food survival kit today from My Patriot Supply and save. Over 2,000 calories a day to keep you healthy and strong, with a 25-year shelf life to ensure it's ready for you when the shit hits the fan. Go to www.bit.ly/CMSPNfood. Order your supplies today and invest in yourself and your family now before it's too late. www.bit.ly/CMSPNfood. My Patriot Supply.